welcome to The Beacons Are Lit, a Lord of the Rings podcast. I'm the host, Mike Marbeck, and today I'm joined by Kelly Conrad.
Hey there.
Matt Guerin.
Hello.
And Stacy Lyons.
Guys.
Super quiet.
Yeah.
Did you just say guys?
Guys.
I said, hey, guys. Should I turn my mic up? Hey, hey, everyone.
Yeah,
hi,
didn't
guys.
hear that. Hey. All right. Yeah, we are here to discuss episode 3 of our Two Towers coverage. At this point, looking like episode 3 of at least 8. I do want to say that if you enjoy the podcast, go to iTunes and rate and review. Let us know what you think of the show. Email us at hello@xroadscomedy.com. Let us know what you think of our show, what you think of Lord of the Rings in general. If you have any thoughts about the Rings of Power, which is coming out. So
pretty much
our last trip to Middle-earth, Two Towers, left off with Shadowfax, the Lord of all horses, who has been his companion through many trouble, something like that.
Generations.
yeah, for many day or
many
two.
Dark times.
Yes, and then we leave with we start off with Gandalf and the boys riding to epic music.
Oh,
Great.
In epic
sweeping
scenery.
Yeah. The skies. Sky looks
the
great.
Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure there's any music in this that's not epic.
True.
That's a very fair point. But there are degrees of epic, and I can't wait to talk about the most epic motif in Two Towers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're right.
We have Merri and Pippin being carried deeper into the forest by Treebeard as he recites some poetry.
And he lulls them to sleep.
Yeah.
I wish that were an app. I wish there was an app where Treebeard read stories. I feel like that would be so wonderful to purposely make you go to sleep.
I would like that if he wasn't also walking while talking, because towards the end of that scene, he sounded a little asthmatic and I was getting a little worried.
Sure. Yeah, let's have him be stationary.
I can't even understand him. I don't know what he said in that entire scene. I'm like, I like it. I'm glad he's saying stuff, but I'm just like, I have no idea what those words were.
I kind of think that's part of why it lulls you to sleep, though, is you get moments of words you understand, but generally you just kind of drift off and he talks so slow and boring, you go to bed.
It's like a hypnosis kind of thing.
That's actually is an app. There is this app where a dude purposefully tells very boring stories with the purpose of trying to help you go to sleep. So
I've listened to that before.
Did it work?
Not as well as if I'm having trouble falling asleep, I just put on kind of monotone TV shows, stuff where there's not just a lot of yelling or action. Schitt's Creek is perfect.
Schitt's Creek is so good for that.
Really
and also their opening song isn't intrusive or obnoxious. I feel like a lot of songs The Office. The Office is great for that, but the song is
it's
a little
kind of
jarring.
loud and it's long. Yeah. But yeah.
If you need to fall asleep, may I recommend any Chuck Norris movie? It will be.
That's great.
Fell to the Octagon last night. That's why I'm saying that.
All I could think of in this scene was how Merri and Pippin probably haven't gotten a good night's sleep in forever, since they left the Shire, and how Treebeard was I swore to Gandalf I'd protect you. They probably passed out instantly. This was probably the best night's sleep that they've gotten in, what do we think, months? How long do you think it's been?
Months, yeah, for sure. Months.
I mean, they were just they were just rolling around with the orcs for who knows how long. I mean, I just felt so bad for them. They probably just got such a nice restful slumber.
Well, and then they were laid upon a beautiful bed of moss that looked so comfy. I think when Merri laid down, he did he did a weird baby thing, and I was like, yeah, that checks out.
That checks out. That checks out.
He stuck his thumb and pulled a binky up to the
yeah. Yeah, that looked really, really lovely.
That looked nice. It was a nice moment.
I want to be laid upon some thick moss. It sounds
Me
great.
too.
Somebody lay me upon some moss.
Wow.
Laid upon moss. And then Treebeard leaves them to slumber. Says he has business in the forest. The withering of all woods is drawing near. So he's going to go.
That sounds like important
people.
business. Yeah.
Yep. Gandalf and Aragorn looking out over the land, talking about, Gandalf is monologuing, kind of summarizing what we've seen so far and different things to come, what's going through Sauron's mind. And he's like, oh, and he knows that the heir of Numenor still lives and he fears what you may become. So he's just talking through the plan.
Super helpful.
It starts.
Yeah, it's a nice. There's a lot of talking thus far at the beginning of this segment, but it was like kind of nice to be like, okay, here we go. We're setting some stuff up.
I love when he says Sauron and Saruman are tightening the noose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone from these first scenes through like talking to Grey Worm in the castle, everyone's talking as if they've just finished their like Masters of Fine Arts in like creative writing. Like they're all just like really getting into it. Like,
there's some really nice, very colorful language in this section.
Yeah, they're like pulling out notebooks and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
Says that Rohan is first. Rohan must battle. And that they have one advantage. The ring remains hidden, and that we would seek to destroy it has not yet occurred to them. Yeah.
Which is I guess they think I guess Sauron and Saruman think that they're going to try to use the ring against them. Is that what they think is probably happening?
Because they know that they had it. They were traveling together, and now it's with a hobbit. So they had thought they had Merri and Pippin. I would imagine they're just trying to take it. Yeah, that maybe they were trying to pass it off to like Rohan or Gondor or something.
Yeah, because there's no way that they would destroy it, knowing the power that it holds and can be used against him. And no way in hell that they would just leave it with two hobbits.
And probably just even the thought of getting to Mount Doom to destroy it wouldn't even occur to them as feasible, which it really shouldn't be,
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Frodo must you see in Aragorn, or Gandalf's looking at Aragorn and sees like him second guessing Frodo, and he says, don't second, it happened the way it's supposed to happen, is more or less what he's saying. Frodo must finish this task alone. Oh, he's not alone.
He's not alone.
Oh, that was did you not hear? Oh, you didn't hear? Yes, you went with him. Yes. His best friend, yup. Sam did it.
Very good. Yes. Very good, he says.
That was so lovely.
Yeah, I did love Gandalf's when he said that line. He just seemed so proud and happy pleased. And almost like he deep inside knew that was like necessary. Yeah. I got that this time around.
And also that I don't think anyone else could have gone with Frodo and been helpful, because everyone else was focused on they had some other allegiance elsewhere. Merri and Pippin were really not very good at this, but Sam's only allegiance was to Frodo.
I feel like Merri's got a good head on her shoulders. Pippin, goddamn train wreck, but Merri could have been helpful.
I agree, but Merri also, I think, would have been a little bit, I don't know, maybe I was going to say pushy in terms of we're going to do this now, we're going to do this now. Sam does that too, but
Merri's too quick to anger. Merri wouldn't have been helpful. Sam is always just constantly optimistic and well, I guess not maybe so much when it comes to Gollum's nature, but overall, Sam, and the rock that Frodo needs.
Yeah, he made a promise. He was the one who made a promise to Frodo. So it's I think part of Gandalf's reaction was also wow, he's keeping his promise, even when they, had to go their own way. So that was really lovely.
Yeah, for sure. Then we go to Frodo, Sam, and Gollum climbing, a little rock climbing. And
the B is more silent, Mike.
You don't know that SNL moment? It was a super small moment, but I'll link to it if I can find it in the episode notes. But
got it. Okay.
Sashir Zamata was that's what it was. I think it was the one where they're trying to guess, the newscasters are trying to guess the race of a of a story, of someone in a story, like, so and so was caught doing this or that, and like, oh, that's definitely a white person did that. And Sashir Zamata has one where she says so and so died while rock climbing, and she like overpronounces the B, and you see them like kind of chuckling because I guess it just like didn't process when she was reading maybe the card, and then Kenan Thompson brings it back. He's like, "Come on, Laquan, rock climbing."
I do remember that sketch. I don't remember that moment so much, or else I wouldn't have tried to make a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
well,
great.
maybe just check your SNL back catalog before you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right. Before I do anything.
This was only for true SNL heads. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's recent. Okay. It's like in the last like 2-3 years. All right. So they're rock climbing, and we see the big black gate. Huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
It's a huge gate.
It is aptly named Black
Huge.
Gate.
Yeah.
It is a black gate.
It's Black Gate. There's never been a black gate bigger. It's huge.
It keeps out all the bad guys.
Sauron written in gold on top of it. Yeah.
Is this the sting, the musical sting on the Black Gate is very epic. I don't know if this is what you're maybe talking about, Kelly, but
it wasn't, but you're absolutely right.
It's got like and maybe this is true of the score in general, I guess, but this particular musical part struck me as like very like crazy scary moments in like 50s Hollywood movies. Like it had like a classic Hollywood element to it where it was just like dun, 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 like it was just like, oh my gosh, the evil is here,
Stop.
Geez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evil.
Very, very like uncomfortable notes, like notes that are meant to like unsettle you on like all sides of the scale, the high really shrieky sounds, and then the low it was very upsetting.
What are we talking? Some minor chords? What are we talking here, Kelly?
Oh man, I don't. I was in band for.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, go ahead. No.
I was gonna say you're definitely playing on the black keys and the piano.
Oh no, that's good that you went first. No, I was in band for 7 years, and recently just like I was never good at clarinet. I really tried. I was so bad. I can't even like pretend to remember anything about music, but all the minors and sharps and half steps and
yeah,
treble,
all baby, the treble.
Yeah, Howard Shore knows. He knows what's
music.
up.
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little look at the close up on the Black Gate. We get to see like the orcs patrolling around and stuff. I wanted more of that. I guess we get some of it later, but
the troll opening the door. I love it.
I feel boring work
bad for them.
Oh, it's
you
awful.
gotta imagine that not a lot of people are trying to get through the Black Gate, so they're just up there all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like baseball. It's like you're not doing anything for a really long time, but then the minute that you need to like do something, you better be on and ready to go. It's like high pressure work.
You never know when an army of mercenaries is going to appear at the door and you're going to have to let them in.
I wonder how like early in advance they need to start opening the door so people can go in without there being a weird like lag.
Right.
It felt like we kind of watched it almost
in real time. Yeah. So
we watched
a couple minutes.
Yeah.
A couple minutes.
Sequence
as long as you're at full strength.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know, maybe one of the orcs or the trolls. Yeah, trolls got COVID. Possible.
There's no healthcare there from what
Bear with us.
I did see a "we're hiring" sign on the front of the Black Gate.
Okay.
Even Middle Earth is having issues with employment.
They should let in. I mean, if they weren't so exclusionary, they could let in more people, and they'd be able to fill those positions.
Right? Gosh.
Yep.
I think this sequence may be one of my least favorite sequences in the movie, though. The hiding, the falling down the mountain, Sam kind of falling down the mountain and hiding. I think it's just not shot clear enough. Like I think like the threat of the guys investigating, like they're really, really close to them, and you can't really tell how much peril that Frodo and Sam are in, because it seems like they should just be able to see them. Am I wrong? Like,
yes. I've thought that every time I've watched that. I don't understand how they don't see Sam and Frodo,
right?
Unless these cloaks are even stronger than we know. I do like the scene of them of the rock.
Yeah.
Like, I like seeing how the cloaks work. Yeah. But I totally agree that like they were right. They didn't go like this, like with the cloak. They didn't cover themselves until 2 seconds before these men were on top of them. How did they not see them?
Yeah,
they might have been behind that bigger rock. You know, there might be, but you're right. It may not have just been shot as clearly.
It's also like the soldiers had very elaborate head and face wear. Maybe that obstructed their vision a little bit. They can only see can only see like directly at like eye height right in front of them.
Terrible design.
Yeah.
Terrible
design. Not good for war.
It's also the beginning of the second movie. Like, we also kind of know that Frodo and Sam aren't about to get kidnapped right in front of Mordor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an extended Kelly theatrical cut? Check.
That's in the theatrical cut, my friend. Yeah.
The whole thing, it goes on for a while.
The whole thing?
I think Daisy, it's theatrical, right?
It's theatrical because it shows how they get from the top to the bottom and are about to run in. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to do the whole running thing.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are. The gate's about to close. They see that as their moment. Sam and Frodo are about to make a run for it, which, you're just asking to get shot on sight. And then Gollum pulls them back.
Says, no, go another way.
Thank God it's Gollum.
Gonna have some fun. Show you how it's done. Thank God it's Gollum.
TGFG.
TG.
Thank God.
I guess it's more of
TG.
TGIS, right? It's more Smeagol.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm mad.
Mad. Oh, God, I feel so
you
stupid
know what?
now.
It's two different people.
I feel so dumb. Mike, can you edit that? I don't want people. I don't want the Smeagolies to come after me.
the Smee guys. Smeagals.
Smeagals. Weren't you Smeagal?
I was Smee girl. Yeah.
Smee girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gollum / Smeagol pulls them back, saves them. Don't take it to him. He wants it. That's all he wants. And he speaks of another way, a tunnel. And Sam's like, I don't know about this guy.
It sounds like he's lying. He's like, a tunnel with stairs and a cave
and a tunnel.
Sure, yeah, a tunnel. Yeah, a tunnel. And Sam's like, are you kidding?
Well, isn't Sam also just like, why are you just now telling us? Right. Like, we're just got to the Black Gate. Yeah. So valid.
Well, they take us to the Black Gate.
Yep.
Okay, sure, but if you know a better, I'm sure he always knew that this entrance wasn't going to be feasible. So it's like, why not bring up the second option right away? So we didn't waste a bunch of time.
I agree with you, but I don't.
Thing.
Yeah, I think Smeagol's also not really like that much of a critical thinker. He was like told to take him to the Black Gate. He took him to the Black Gate, and it's like, wait, you're actually going to try to go in? Don't do that. Go in this way.
And it probably, and I'm assuming that he definitely didn't get the Shelob idea until probably then. Of like, oh, I know another way because that's not until the end.
When he gets when he decides to betray them because Faramir takes them.
Never mind. Yeah.
That's more of a Gollum idea. Smeagol's idea is like, oh, I know the steps. Gollum's idea is like, I know Shelob.
Wow, I'm getting so confused with Gollum. Smeagol, I'd be so played.
No, just identify them the way he wants to be identified.
Use his names.
Yeah.
No, it's just Smeagol. Smeagol is telling the truth here, but he sounds so shady. It's just the shadiest way of telling them about this
tunnel
thing.
And stairs. Yeah, that's
You guys rocks.
That's the ticket.
Stairs. And cave. Anyone else? Anyone?
He's like also like he's pawing at Frodo as he's describing
I love
this.
that.
Just
like petting him.
You know that was just Andy Serkis. That was not a director's note. That was Andy Serkis just doing that, and Elijah would just went with it because of course.
Yes, and baby.
We go to Pippin drinking some of the forest water and talking about Old Toby.
I always forget about this scene, them like getting bigger.
So this is extended. This is not theatrical, which is kind of a huge bummer because I think this scene is so fun. It's so fun and it's so magical. And I really wish that it was in the theatrical, but
it's very about silly. Smoking up. Yeah.
Old Toby, right? Old Toby's
Old Toby.
I guess I think drinking of the water was kind of a big deal in the books because by the end they're like described as being like big, hobbits. Strong.
They're the tallest hobbits, yeah.
So they kind of threw this in, and then also, did you guys think of that tree that's like consumes them as they wrestle on it?
Yeah,
that big tree that was very like Tom Bombadil, right?
Yeah.
That was like in what Fellowship.
Yeah,
didn't they all get sucked into a tree in that book?
I don't know if they all did, but Frodo definitely did. And
I thought Merri and Pippin did
die before somebody pulled. I think maybe Tom Bombadil pulled him.
Was that in Mirkwood or was different forest?
It was how they met Tom.
Yeah, it's wherever.
But what forest was that?
I don't
remember the name of the forest.
It was after Bree.
I'll Google it.
Sure,
So
it was before Aragorn. No, it was before Aragorn. So it was on their way to Bree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember the forest.
Our Lord of the Rings super fans probably not happy right now.
No, they are so
Correct
annoyed.
us.
No one's listening. No one's rated us except for me, so I don't think anyone cares.
Hey, we're up to 3. All right. So Pippin's drinking that water, talking about Old Toby. The trees are groaning, and Merri grabs the tree juice, starts drinking. Don't drink it. No. And he's like, no, Treebeard said, don't do it. Stop.
You're not supposed to. It's only me.
Okay. The forest
when Merri goes 3'8".
Oh, I love that.
Everyone knows I'm the tall one.
Matt, what's the forest?
The forest is just called the Old Forest. So,
yeah, it's
no wonder it's not memorable.
It's still in Hobbiton, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tolkien just never got around to naming it. He's like, I got around to that forest.
It's east of the Shire.
Book.
East of the Shire. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
so
it was Bombadil.
They get sucked in and then saved by Treebeard. Away with you. Away with you. Go back to sleep. You're not supposed to be up, you idiot. The forest is waking up. It isn't safe. And then he talks about the Entwives. We lost the Ent because they ask about, are there any treelings?
Yeah.
No, we haven't had them in a long time because we lost the Entwives. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh,
how did they die? Die?
Yeah.
They did not die. We lost them. Oh, but then what did they look like? I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Treebeard, a wife.
Yeah. Come on, Treebeard.
I wonder if the Entlings look like little baby Groots, like if they're like really cute little trees.
And they dance the pop songs.
Yeah.
And they talk super slow, but in high pitched voices.
Oh, the miracles.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm more curious about the Entwives, though.
Oh, I'm sure you are, Mike.
Oh,
where they're at.
Jeez, it's one thirsty little thing.
You sick.
I tell you, you can't get enough of those Entwives.
Oh, come on.
All right. So then we arrive at Edoras and do not look for welcome here. Gandalf setting the stage once again. And then inside, Eowyn is telling Theoden of Theodred's death.
Next progression of scenes is so good. It's like among my favorite in the movies. And I was watching it. I couldn't get my TV to work. I was like watching it on my phone. And Walker was next to me. He looked down and he sees Gandalf start like coming up the steps with his staff. And he was like, take your headphones out. Put it louder. Put it louder. He just sat there watching.
That's amazing. Well, this is so can we rewind just a little bit? Because this is I believe the epic moment I was referring to where we hear the motif, the like Rohan motif for the first time. And Eowyn, that's when she like runs out and the flag rips and kind of blows onto the ground as they enter. Yeah. But the fiddle or the violin or whatever that is, that incredible.
The strings.
So good.
Strings. And then the flag. I just think that whole scene is like so powerful.
Good.
Yeah.
But before that is when she tells off Grima, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and she's telling Theoden that his son's dead. Theodred has died in the night. Will you not go to him? Will you do nothing? She's like, get up. What are you doing?
Poor Eowyn, you're just looking at her face. Her brother's gone. Her cousin's dead. Her uncle doesn't care. Grima's touching her. And you're just like
super weird.
Oh my God. I just feel for her so bad in these.
Yeah. Grima's like, oh, he must have died in the night.
Oh God.
This is such, it's so icky, but I love this Wormtongue scene. He has that incredible line that kind of gets Eowyn for a minute, which is so fair, so cold, like morning of pale spring still clinging to winter's chill. Even as like a young girl, I was like, there was a period where I was just reading poetry, so this really hit me. But I was just like, exclusively reading poetry. I was just like, wow, for a minute, like I fell for Wormtongue. And then,
well, you imagine she's so alone, and finally someone comes and he like does describe her perfectly. She's like, I feel seen for the first time, but no.
And then Eowyn has that amazing response when her voice gets like all low and powerful, and she's like, "Yo, what's a poison?"
Yeah, so leave me alone, snake.
Boom. Yeah, she rocks it. I don't know if I would have the strength. I think I would have just flung myself.
I mean, with language like that, take me to the chambers. Am I right?
Wormtongue, he's trying his best.
Okay, Matt, he doesn't need to defend
the defense of Wormtongue. I'm coming to the defense of he's been cursed with the name of Wormtongue. Okay, he didn't decide to look like this. He didn't decide to have this name. And look, there's a poet trapped inside that body. Edgar Allan Poe was gross. He was super gross. He's a terrible dude, an alcoholic, and maybe Wormtongue's just misunderstood. That's
James Patterson has already defended enough white men today. We don't need this from you, Matt.
Grima's only crime is his ambition.
Sure.
And his lack of vitamin D.
Also his lack of consensual touching. Leave her alone.
Patterson?
For the record.
Yeah, Patterson.
He came out and said something akin to, it's really hard for white men to find jobs now. This is a type of racism.
Really, really good, really helpful for a guy who hasn't stopped working for 30 years to chime in about how hard it is for white men.
No one needs you, James Patterson.
It is extremely hard for an average white man to become a CEO these days. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's really, really tough out there. Shut up.
Yeah.
Everybody's hiring.
Everybody's hiring. But also, Mike, everybody's applying. It's so hard.
All right. Wormtongue's creeping. Leave me alone, snake. And then she runs out to see our boys arriving.
She looks fantastic. Gorgeous
flag
dress.
Blows off. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful. Why would you even put that on? I would be in my sweats. I would have nothing going on for me at this point. And yet there she is by her cousin's bedside. Eowyn grows on me more and more. Yeah. I did not feel this way about her when I first started watching The Two Towers.
Oh, muy interesante, Stacey.
No. I was 13 and I was very much like, excuse me, back away from Aragorn. He's spoken for.
Yeah.
Like, I did not like this threat that she posed. And now looking back, I fall for Aragorn every time I watch this. And I'm happily married with 2 children. What else was she supposed to do? Like, come on.
Yeah. Aragorn also, we'll get to this obviously, like leads her on pretty hard.
They have a little connection. They have a good little friendship. And I can see, both of them being like,
Let me ask this.
There's this. Go ahead.
Was there something going on between Theodred and Eowyn?
I would imagine, like, this is pure speculation. Would they maybe possibly have been betrothed because of the nature of their familial? I don't think anything like untoward was going on, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was talk of them one day getting married or something. But I don't know how it worked back then.
This hit her pretty hard. Because this hit her pretty hard. And that's not to say that you can't be close to someone. But yes, Stacey, thinking about these kinds of stories, these times, I think it's quite possible that they were.
And then if not,
I felt like they were kind of pushing that a little bit.
How long had she been there? Could have been since she was born. It could have been like a brother to her. She could have taken this as hard as any.
There's also just so much terrible shit happening to her. This is just
one more thing.
If he had recovered, he could have helped her get her, her uncle back. He could have taken over. He could have gotten rid of. I mean, this might have been like her last lifeline, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could have been a few different things. I just wonder.
So this flag has blown off, landed at the feet of our friends. Kind of just another symbol that this kingdom is not what it once was. And then we have that sweeping view of Edoras, which I believe Kelly was referring to with the music and everything kind of coming in, going up, showing all the houses, which, great feat of engineering on their part, because all that shit's on a hill. It's just all slope on the slopes.
One heavy rain would really.
No, it's in a hill that's in a valley that they had to like build a road to, and this valley gets like winds that like are like hurricane like strength winds, and all that like thatching is that not like native to like nobody knew how to do that before this movie. They just like learned how to do all that roof thatching, and that authentic like thatching techniques that withstand hurricane winds on like their first time building something like this, and like they erected this whole like had to drive like trucks out like hundreds of miles. They couldn't run over certain parts of the valley because like moss, like some ancient moss that grows there and stuff like that.
That's incredible, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It was very windy in that scene where the flag blew off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is the perfect location though. I mean, like that Edoras looks so cool. It looks so just like it's described in the book. It looks amazing.
It looks like 25 people live there. No?
Pretty small kingdom.
It's a pretty small town.
I don't know why we're all running to save Rohan. There's not a lot of people.
Why are we doing this?
They've all
gonna
fled.
be super helpful.
Just take it, guys.
Well, 2,000 of them, are like running around, right? Aomir and his buddies.
Aomir's buds.
I'm gonna Google what was the population of Rohan. I'll let you guys know.
Hello, Google.
Yeah. All right. So they have arrived. They're walking through. You'll find more cheer in a graveyard. And they're met by Gamling at the door, and takes their weapons. He can't come in so heavily armed. Tries to take Gandalf's staff. Oh, you wouldn't part an old man from his walking stick.
That sly son of a gun, Gandalf.
Is that a little wink? Is that a little Aragorn?
Aragorn kind of,
cheeky. That cheeky son of a gun.
Generally acting more feeble in these moments. He's got the gray cloak on. He's hunched over. They're kind of helping him walk.
Yeah.
So he's putting on a whole production.
Yeah, but once the doors
pretty quickly though.
Once the doors close, he's not using the staff to walk. Once the door is closed behind him, he's holding it in his hand. He's nosing. Yeah. He's so dramatic. I just love him so much.
Yeah, it really is. Like as soon as the doors close, he snaps into Gandalf, the new Gandalf the Whites, before he takes that cloak off, and he says, "The courtesy of your hall is somewhat lessened of late." And then he starts charging, and then you see them like fight.
Well, he doesn't take the cloak off till
he tries after that first time.
No, after he doesn't try. He puts his hand up and he's like, "I release you." And he's trying not at all because he wants that moment.
He wants
because he's the most extra person in this world.
Well, that's also because he well, that's the other thing I wanted to touch on, is because they are. You can't come in so heavily armed, Gandalf Greyhem. Gandalf the Grey is here to see you. You have no power here, Gandalf the Grey. So they're really hitting it, and then he's like, whoosh,
yeah.
And then
he's waiting. He wants
all the lights.
He wants at least 3 mentions of Gandalf the Grey before he's like, oh no.
I honestly think Jackson should have taken a cue from like John Woo and had Gandalf throw off his cloak and like super slow mo, like, fly out from behind them. Like that's that moment needed. Yeah.
That song? Immigrant Song? Yeah. It's playing.
I love them beating up the like Wormtongue's men. Legolas gets that cool like fist.
It's just a street fight.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a straight up brawl.
Yeah.
Gamling's one of his other folks goes to try and get into the fight, and Gamling's like, no.
Yeah. Like
Eowyn runs up. Is like, no, wait. But when he does that, release you. Before he even gets to that part, he says, "Courtesy of your hall is somewhat lessened of late. Wormtongue is whispering in his ear, why should I welcome you, Gandalf Stormcrow? And then I love this when he says to Grima, keep your forked tongue behind your teeth. I have not passed through fire and death to bandy crooked words with a witless worm. That's when he jumps up with the staff and is like, staff, I told you to take
the staff.
How good is that line? The way like he sounds like he's like physically aching when he says that.
Fucking idiot.
Yes.
I told you to take. Yeah. Love that. And Mike, don't you love that? Mike, don't you love the line of like late is the hour in which this conjurer chooses to appear? Don't you love that line?
Yeah, you always say late is the hour. Always.
I brought it up many a time.
Well, it begs the question though. Sorry. Wormtongue's men, there's only like 6 of them, right? Like 5 or 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot, like way more of like what's Theoden's guy's name that you said, Mike? Gambling. Like seemed like Gambling and his boys could have like taken out Wormtongue's men like way earlier on.
Yeah, but I think with Theoden, he's signing documents. He's made Grima welcome. You know, they can't really go against him. They don't know for sure that he's being possessed.
Betrayal's hard, you know. I understand. It just.
But they let Gandalf keep the staff. You know, they know what they think, they suspect.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Only like remember that scene where Gandalf's talking to Aragorn and he's like, Saruman is using mind control on Theoden. It's an old trick he has. Yeah. And so, I mean, Gandalf knows exactly what's going on, but no one else really knows, you know, or else Éomer wouldn't have left and Éowyn wouldn't still be trying to be like, slap, slap, slap.
Yeah, he just aged 100 years in a couple weeks. It's normal. It's normal stuff.
I understand. He looks good. He looks fine. He's healthy.
He's such a good actor. The scene is so good.
Rips the cloak off, the light shines. I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is drawn from a wound. And then they kind of go back, you know, what does he say? If he dies, if I go,
he dies.
Yeah.
You did not, kill me.
Yeah, and not kill him. Yeah. And then
he does that. Yeah, when he does that laugh, I can remember getting chills like the first time he did that laugh because like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know the stories when I first saw this movie. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna turn into like a demon or something. It was so scary sounding.
Like, I don't think Gandalf's thing is gonna work. He's laughing.
Yeah. It's just such an interesting choice that Bernard Hill, like this trained out, you would not expect him to just come out and be like, you have no power. Just like Gandalf the Grey. It's so creepy. He's just so good at it, and you wouldn't expect it to come from him.
It's like the opposite of it was like his first day of filming, and those were the choices he made, and everyone's like, all right, it's like the opposite of Aragorn's first day of filming, which was clearly the Council of Elrond, and he made some choices that we didn't agree with.
None of us can.
Reverse it and you get this scene.
You have no power here, Gandalf the Grey.
Oh man, Bernard Hill, from the minute we like get introduced and like interact with him till his end, spoiler, amazing. So freaking good. He might be one of my favorite characters in the trilogy, and I don't know, you know, that's like shocking to me.
Yeah, that's high praise.
I'm throwing up.
He's the only good king figure we actually get. Like,
still flawed, but but valiant and admirable and honest and like tries his best.
Until the King of Gondor.
Yeah. I mean, Tolkien's pretty hard on most of the kings, especially in like, or most of the people in power, especially when it comes to like the men. Theoden's a good dude for the most part.
Yeah. So Gandalf wins out. Saruman is tossed to the floor, which I thought was a really cool effect. Like it looks like he's hitting him and it just like pushes. It's almost like in when Doctor Strange does that thing where he pushes your inner spirit out. It was kind of like that. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I don't know about that, but it just also felt like a continuation of that brawl they had up in the Tower of Isengard, you know, and it was just kind of like his last, he got the last punch on that one kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also want to think that was probably shot like at the same time. And Christopher Lee was probably like, I'm not doing anything new. You have that whole, you have plenty of footage from that fight. You find something in there.
So true.
It. Yeah. So then Theoden is being revived. So is, everything's going back to, I guess, the way it was. Like facial hair is disappearing. It's not just getting color back. He's getting his goatee. Everything is just going back to pre Saruman time, I guess.
I thought that effect held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice. It's like reverse Last Crusade. He turns from old skeleton to handsome Bernard Hill.
Yeah. Nice, so I guess that's just him keeping his face still. He has to keep it super still, where everything would just kind of dissolve around him. I know your face.
Oh my gosh!
She's so happy. She's so happy.
And that line is so good.
Mm-hmm. Breathe the free air again, my friend. And this line always sounds odd. But it's your fingers would remember their old strength better if they grasped your sword.
I love that line.
I like it too. I like it. It just sounds funny to me. If they grasped your sword.
Does he say fingers or hand?
I have fingers, but it could be hand.
And does she say sword or penis?
Actually, penis sounds more correct.
If you grasped your penis.
And this shot I really, really, really like when he says that with grab your sword, and then he takes it, unsheathes it, holds it up, and then the camera does this move over to the other side of the blade, and then his eyes become fixed on Grima in that moment.
Well, I personally liked how first he kind of held it from the tip, and it was kind of like someone, so it's everything. No, move the hand down.
Sorry, are we talking about when he's holding his penis or he's holding this?
Yeah, we talking sword or penis?
I'm talking about the extended edition release. So when he's holding his penis.
Okay, gotcha. Just holding the tip of it. He forgot how.
Yeah. Lower.
Yeah.
Has that?
I don't know how Grima made it all the way out. Oh, they carried him, and they threw him.
They gave him the old Jazzy Jeff.
Okay. Yep.
Out of Uncle Phil tosses Jazzy Jeff out of the Fresh Prince house. That's what they did to him.
That would hurt so much.
And he really sold the pain.
Oh yeah,
Grima. I was like, "Ooh, you broke some ribs there."
He's not okay.
No.
You ever see Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Yes. A while ago. When
George Clooney gets tossed out, that's what it kind of looks. And stay out of the Woolsworth. What else? The only thing it was missing was and stay out, and then someone like going like this.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. Yeah, so he's got his sword back. Grima's rolls down the steps. And
seems like just hold Grima like prisoner though, right? Like why send him back to Saruman with knowledge? And
that was a Gandalf move, right?
It was Aragorn. Or
Aragorn
didn't wanted to kill him in front of everyone.
Yeah, he lifted up a sword ready to slice him in two.
Yeah.
Right. And Aragorn was just like, enough people have died recently. And it's like, but this is the one who definitely should die.
Yeah. One more.
Who the fuck are you, by the way? I'm fucking king right now, dude.
And Grima,
I'm back. I know how to hold this sword again. I know how to hold my penis again. I'm killing this dude.
I'm back in fucking business.
Aragorn stopping the king in front of all of his constituents is like, makes him look like a little bitch,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he should have just, you should have killed Aragorn.
Yeah. Put a stop to this right now.
Not my king. Am I right?
Ayo.
Wait,
not my king.
I think we skipped over really when Eowyn runs out and Aragorn grabs her before, like when the fight's going on, and I feel like Eowyn kind of like struggles and then sees like Aragorn's face, and kind of like, oh.
And then like leans into it.
This is like the first hug I've gotten in a while. This feels nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like, who's touching me? And then it's like, oh. Continue.
You go more.
Oh no, I'm gonna run to him. I'm gonna run.
Yeah.
Hold
me. Stopping me. Keep stopping.
Hold me tighter. Hold me tighter. He needs me.
Grima is before he gets spared, he's still pleading. He's still acting as if I have ever tried to serve you. No, come on, dude. You found out. The dude just transformed 100 years younger in front of us.
He's kind of Loki like sometimes. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your leechcraft would have had me crawling on all fours.
Like a beast. Wormtongue is wonderfully despicable. Like,
yeah. Again, and then Brad Dourif is crushing it.
Fantastic.
Was excited to see him die. Didn't get to see him die.
Yet. No, Wormtongue rides off, and then he turns his attention. Where is my son?
Not before
a
quick spit at Aragorn's hand and a shove through the crowd, yelling, "Out of my way!"
Coming through.
He spits on his hand. That's a gross thing. And Aragorn's like, this again.
Wipes it on Éowyn. Yeah.
And Éowyn's like, all
right. Do you
I'll never wash this shoulder.
Yeah,
do you need a long sleeve for your spit?
It wasn't my saliva. Yeah. So then we go to the funeral for Theodred.
God, the saddest thing in the whole freaking world. That one line, "Where is my son?"
Oh my God.
Where's my son? Where's
he
Theodred?
just and like Grima robbed him of his last moments with his son. He'll never get that back.
No.
He probably wants to kill him all over again. Like that's the saddest thing in the whole world.
I mean, I think that's where probably so much of the sadness and the guilt comes from, is that like he wasn't even aware that was happening. He was like so out of it.
He never went to his son's bedside as he was.
It's too sad.
It's super sad.
And Bernard Hill, his deep, heavy sobs, just
like after the burial,
like physically uncomfortable to watch. Like it was just so sad.
Yeah, and that line is, "No parent should ever have to bury their child," I think.
Yeah.
And breaks
down. And then Gandalf's there, like
can't relate. He's like the friend that is trying but can't relate.
But also I feel like the friend who offered the best possible advice is like he's gonna be taken care of in the afterlife. Like he's good. And I think that was like all Gandalf probably could have said.
His spirit will find its way to the halls of your forefathers.
Yeah.
Gandalf's seen death.
Yeah.
He's died himself.
And we get a bunch of Rohanese, the Rohirrim language in this. Because you have Éowyn singing, and then you have Gandalf saying a little bit in the tongue of the Rohirrim.
She's a lovely voice.
I thought was good.
She's a lovely little.
That's extended, definitely extended. I loved that it was like so. It wasn't pretty. It was like the opposite of Pippin's like pop moment in Return of the King. It was very like just emotional and like guttural. Like I think that made it feel like authentic. I like that moment.
Funereal, like it needed something to mark the significance, and it was lovely.
And again, she looks so funeral chic. She looks so good.
Her hair back.
Got a great bun going on.
Yeah, that nice braid going on.
Yeah, braided in a bun.
Well, she was like, "Is Aragorn going to be there? Is he coming?"
Yeah, she's like, "Who's all going?
I'll go if you're going. I'm not going to."
I know this is going to be sad as shit, but I cannot cry. I cannot look as like I'm messing for Aragorn.
She was crying.
Is anyone singing? Do you want me to? I'll sing.
Me? I'll sing. Okay,
I'll sing.
Really. Okay, fine.
I'll just do it in a different language. I know a couple languages.
Yeah.
He'll be so impressed.
We look off in the distance, and it's the arrival of the youngins, Eothane and Freda, who we saw leave one of the villages in Rohan after it was attacked by Saruman's men. So they made it.
They made it
for their mama.
Barely.
We assume their mom.
Yes. Eothane falls right off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know about mama just yet.
For him.
It's too big for him. He can't ride it.
He's not supposed to ride it.
And that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it there for this episode of the Two Towers. But not before we get to winners and losers. Winners and losers.
The segment I always forget about.
I always forget that we do this.
Every time.
So we'll start with the losers. Stacy.
Grima, because he was found out.
Yeah.
And he got tossed downstairs.
And he found
out. Mm-hmm. And he failed his boss there too. I can imagine going back to Saruman with his tail tucked between his legs is not endear him much to the cause.
But bueno.
So, I'm going to say Grima.
How can fire undo stone? What are you doing here? We'll get to that. Matt.
Probably the pair of mercenaries that couldn't see Sam and Frodo right in front of their freaking faces. They're just like the Black Rider that couldn't.
Black Rider. The ring wraith.
We got the human version of that guy. Freaking losers.
Kelly, Lahoozer.
I gotta say, Big T, Theoden. Like super cool that he's like back to his normal state, but also like you got the most horrific news that you could possibly get upon your awakening. So pretty sad.
For sure. My loser, Daedrid.
Super dead.
Life cut
Very
short.
dead.
Didn't
Off
even get
camera,
to.
though.
I had to also assume that he was not super well cared for after this happened. I think that Eowyn was probably there, but he probably
he looked like he was maybe 21 years old. He was a baby.
Super young.
Yeah, Grima probably seeing to the fact that he would die.
Yeah, his whole like, oh, he probably died in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
A question off topic. I keep going back and forth on this. Would you guys have liked like one scene where Theodred was talking and we got to meet him very briefly before we found him unconscious? You would have liked that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I always forget that he's even like a part like of this movie. Like, I kind of always forget that like Theodred is a character that died and hurt Pippin's feelings. Like
it would have made it sadder, but I just don't know because I'm like, well, it's really mostly about Theoden, and I don't know. I go back and forth on that all the time. Just wondering.
Like I see why they didn't do that and why they just brushed by it, but at the same time, it's like, it would have been nice. It would have just made his death a little more emotional and allowed the audience to like connect with it a little more. Because I was just kind of like, it's really sad, but it is also just like, all right, let's keep this story going.
We barely had a funeral for Boromir, and we got to know him.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Let's hit the winners in reverse, Kelly.
I always forget this, and we just talked about it. I feel like there are a decent amount of winners in this section, and I certainly know who mine is. Mom, I think you're
gonna say it right.
I think Gandalf, I guess. Gandalf, I think he cured Theoden. I'm sure there's a better word to say, but
Saruman after kind of getting his ass kicked multiple times.
Exactly.
Stronger than ever.
I feel like his rebranding was really complete in that moment.
Yes. Yeah. So Gandalf is my winner.
Great.
Big G.
Matt.
I'm gonna go with Pippin. He's tall as hell now. He's the tallest hobbit, and he got a real good night's sleep.
3'8".
He's hanging out with the Ents. Yeah, Pippin's having a good time right now compared to most of the Fellowship.
Yeah, for sure. Stacy.
I gotta go with Eowyn. She's got her uncle back. She's got a new hottie with the body in the castle. Grima's gone. I know she's sad about her cousin, but things definitely are on the up and up for her.
That's so true. A hot person around is like so good for your
morale. She's been in that dark castle for so long. I mean,
that's what my therapist recommends.
Just finding a hot person to be around
yourself with beauty. It'll be
it just gives you a reason to try a little harder.
Also, like her smile when her uncle like remembered her name, like that was the most genuine smile I've seen in this movie.
She has such a pretty smile.
Yeah. So I think she won today was a victory for her. And then, it gets dark again, but
yeah,
it's good for now.
Mm-hmm. My winners, plural, are Eothen and Freda, who made it.
Made it.
Good.
They made it. Yeah, so good for them. They were set off by Mama to be safe, and they mission accomplished. Is what I'm getting at.
They may have saved countless lives by doing so too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were
so true. Do we think that they knew the way, or did the horse know the way? I always wonder that.
There must be like one road, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
a road.
Like followed a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or like signs,
like the signs with like the arrow, like Edoras this way, Mordor that way, the sun
that way,
that way,
yeah. Albuquerque that way.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they got there, but they did. I would go with the main road theory.
I think it's
not the horse knows the way theory.
They might.
These horses seem super smart.
Yeah.
Maybe these horses go from like town to town.
Yeah.
By the way, the amount of like horse decorations in Edoras, like if you watch the behind the scenes and stuff, they put horses on everything.
It's amazing.
The place is just rotten with horse paraphernalia.
Rotten.
It's just top to bottom horses, columns, engravings, the staff's clothing. Like something on like Theoden's crown is like 1,000 mini little horses or something.
Incredible.
Like that is one note culture. It's like we like horses. What else do you like? I fucking told you what we like. We like horses.
You guys seen any good plays lately? We've been riding our horses. Seabiscuit. You heard Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit.
It's my favorite horse pancake.
Seabiscuit.
Is that a pancake? What is Bisquick mean?
Yeah.
It's called climbing.
Does anyone else have eyes on the moon right now? It seems super full.
It's full. I think tomorrow. I think Tuesday.
It's like, sorry, it's just right in front of me and it's like distracting.
Hey, listeners, whatever you're doing right now, get eyes on that moon. Go get eyes.
And we'll be looking at it at the same time.
And while you're reviewing our podcast, let us know what phase you're looking at.
How you feel about the moon? Yeah. Waxing, waning?
Gibbous?
Gibbons.
It's a full fucking moon, guys.
That'll do it for this episode of The Beacons Are Lit. We'll be back soon with episode 4 of the Two Towers coverage. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Stacy. And thank you all for listening. Bye.
Bye.